Right, I'm going to show you how to make the flower in the centre of the Teddington blanket. So first what you need to do is take the yarn that you're going to use for the centre and make a slip knot and then chain 6. And join it with a slip knot to the first of the chain 6 to make a ring. Okay, making sure you keep the end out of the way. And then you need to chain 6, 5, 6, is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then do a treble into the ring. Your chain 6 counts as 1 treble and a chain 3. So your treble into the ring, and then do a chain 3. Now you need to repeat this treble and chain 3 7 times, and what you will find as you go round the ring doing this is that you should have a wheel with spokes, if you like, and you should have 8 spaces and 8 spokes. So if I just do a couple more to show you and get the idea of what you're going to have. Okay, there we go. So you see the centre there, and you've got each little spoke coming out, and you should have 8 spaces and 8 spokes. Okay, so I've got my 8 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this one's going to be 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spokes. So I'm just going to finish off with my last chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then join it with a slip stitch to the third of the chain 6 of your first part of the petal. So 1, 2, 3, pop the hook in there and just do a slip stitch like that, bring it through the last one, and then we're going to fasten off this yarn. So cut the yarn, leave a reasonable end, and then pull that through. Okay, and that's the centre of your flower. Make sure those spokes are all nice and even all the way around. Okay, now we're going to make our first round of petals. We need to join the yarn to any one of these spaces that we've made. So by doing that, joining into a space, I tend to make a slip knot and put it on the hook, but take it off, put my hook through one of the spaces and just loop that back on the hook, and then pull that through. Whoopsie, try not to lose it. Just pull that through like that. Now we start with a double crochet, so I'm just going to do 1 chain 1, and that can count as our double crochet. Now you do 2 chain, let's push that round, and then 3 trebles into the same space. 3, okay, just push those round so they're all neat and tidy. Another chain 2, and then another double into the same space. That's your first petal. Move on to the next space, double crochet, 2 chain, 3 trebles, 2 chain, push those round a bit, and a double crochet into the next space. And you can see you've got 2 petals. You need to work all the way round and get round to the end there, and you should have 8 petals in your first round. Right, I've now finished all of the petals, so you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now don't fasten off the yarn. Now what you want to do is you want to set up the foundation for the next row of petals. So what you do is you chain 5, and then this is the tricky bit. You need to fasten this in to the top of the treble, the next treble from the previous round. So if you can just find a place to hook that through, and you join that with a double crochet to that petal, and you see you've got your chain going behind here, and this is where you're going to work the next row to give you a layered flower. Another 5, and joining it to the next one, so this one here, and try and join it under 2 strands. It's a little bit fiddly, don't worry if you can't get it in exactly the right place, it doesn't really matter. try and put it under those 2 strands there, pull it through and do a double crochet, and then continue all the way round doing that until you get to the end. Okay, so I've gone round and I've got 8 groups of these chains going, chain 5s going behind these petals. Now obviously if you wanted to do different colour petals for the next round, you could change your yarn now. Okay, so now we're working into this space here. So you have your yarn. I've not fastened it off because I'm going to continue in white. I do onto the next one round, 1 double crochet, 2 chain. This time we're going to do 5 trebles because this is a slightly larger petal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 chain and 1 double in the end there. Okay, you can see you've got a slightly bigger petal which is going to sit behind that one nicely. Move on to the next one. 1 double, 2 chain, 5 trebles, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 chain and 1 double, and continue going all the way around. Okay, so now we've got 8 of the larger petals, and then you just continue in the same way with the next row. So you need to do the setup bit first, which is a chain of 7. And then you secure that into the double crochet from row 3, so into here somewhere, and secure it with a double crochet like you did before, and then continue like so, and do another chain 7 and continue all the way round. Once you've done that, don't fasten off the yarn, then you need to fill in your petals into here. So you do a double, 2 chain and then 7 trebles, which makes a bigger flower, and you work all the way round, and then we need to join it onto the granny square. Okay, so now you've finished your flower, you've got 3 rows of increasing petals, and now we finish with the white, so we cut that off and just pull that through. You can sew in all your ends now. I tend to leave it till I finish because I'm a little bit lazy, but there we go. So that's that. Right, now we're going to start joining onto a granny square. So turn it over, and if you remember when we were doing our chains to set up for the petals, we joined them into the double crochets from the previous round. That's what we're going to do now. So if you just put your hook into the double crochet on any petal from the previous round and just hook that through as best you can. It's a bit fiddly. Okay, and then hook the yarn through. So I'm working in the green. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do a corner of a granny square. So pull that through. Okay, and then chain 3, and then work 2 more trebles into the same stitch. Okay, and then we're going to move around the corner of the granny square, so chain 2 and then do 3 more trebles into that same stitch, and that makes a corner of your granny square. Okay, then we're going to move along to the side, so chain 1, and then on the next double crochet at the back of the next petal, you need to just find where you're going first, so let's pop it in about there, just make that a little bit bigger, and then you need to do 3 trebles into that space there, and that's your side space. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then you need to chain 1, and then you work another corner into the next double crochet, so that's 3 trebles, 2 chain, 3 trebles, and then you continue working corners and side spaces until you get back round to here. Okay, so I've gone all the way round setting up my granny square, so I've got 4 corners, i.e. 2 groups of 3 trebles separated by a chain, and then 1 group of 3 trebles all the way around. And now all you need to do is slip stitch to the first space that you have if you're going to stick with this colour. So slip stitch into that treble there and into the next treble and into the space, and I'm in a corner space, and then chain 3. That counts as your first treble, 2 trebles, and then chain 2, and then 3 trebles, and that's your first corner worked. And now all you do is you continue round doing your granny square rows as you would with a normal granny square. So I've just done my first corner on top of a corner. Now I'm going to move to the side space with a chain 1 and then 3 trebles into that side space, and then just carry on round and round until your baby blanket is the size that you want it. There we go.